Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, type in freedom now. If I'm live with you guys, type in freedom now and say that you're live. Let's see what's going on here. Am I live? Come on in, friends. Okay, let's go. Hey there, and okay, I see that I'm live now. Thank you guys. I'm using a new device today. Thank you for being here. Come on in, say freedom now, freedom now. It's good to have you. I'm LaToya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe in immigration freedom. Type in freedom now, guys. It's so great to be with you. I hope you had a terrific weekend. The holiday season is here. Lean into the joy of the holiday season. I know it's going to be a little challenging to find that joy, but just dig deep and find it. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey there, Bernadette. Thank you so much. Good to see some familiar faces today. Hey there, Instagram and TikTok, welcome. I believe Facebook is not with us today, but that's okay. Hello, hello, hello. I have some important immigration news to cover with you today, and then we're going to dive right into your immigration questions. Type in, I feel good. Type in freedom now. Type in where you're watching from. Let's light up the chat, guys. There's a lot to discuss. We can be reached at McBean Law at 914-898-9488, or you could always email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com. Email us, at info@mcbeanlaw.com. That's correct. And our information is scrolling below, as well as, certainly we have our contact information on all of the platforms that you're watching us on today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Freedom now. I see Jamaica's in the house, Lakeland, I think Florida maybe, New York City. Awesome, thank you so much. Miami, Florida, awesome, wonderful. Okay, so guys, we're gonna go right into some immigration news. Maybe the first one is breaking, I don't know. But President Trump says that he would absolutely denaturalize citizens. He absolutely wants to denaturalize more U.S. citizens. This issue about denaturalization came up just a few days ago when President Trump, on Sunday, he said that he would absolutely denaturalize certain Americans, revoking the citizenship of some criminals if he had the power to do it, guys. If he had the power to do it, he wants to be able to do it. I think I have the post here. Let's see if, oh yeah, here it is. This is it, right? He says that we have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized, maybe through President Joe Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. Trump said on Sunday in answer to a reporter's question. He added, if I had the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize. Absolutely. And so there's some talks going on that perhaps the Trump administration is looking to denaturalize citizens who committed a crime after becoming a U.S. citizen. And if you've seen any of my denaturalization videos, guys, I have maybe 5 or so of these videos on McBean Immigration TV, where I discuss how denaturalization works and who is potentially at risk for being denaturalized. So go back and watch some of those videos. But one thing that you would have heard me say in those videos is that normally the triggering event for denaturalization occurred before you became a naturalized citizen. And so now, from what I'm hearing, right, and seeing in the media, the Trump administration is looking to find a way, if they can, they're looking to find a way to denaturalize citizens who committed a crime after becoming a U.S. citizen. And our law currently does not allow for individuals to be denaturalized like that. But denaturalization is up front and center right now with the Trump administration. And this is, you've got to become educated. My last video on denaturalization, I think it was just a short video that just said U.S. citizenship is fragile. Okay, watch that video as well. U.S. citizenship is fragile, and every U.S. citizen, whether you're a U.S. born or a naturalized citizen, should be alert, should be aware of what is going on, what policymakers are discussing with regard to denaturalizing. Earlier, months ago, the president also said that he would like to, if it's possible, the homegrown criminals, if he could send them to another country, he would like to do that as well. So sending American citizens outside of the United States, which would basically be like deportation. And then now we're talking about denaturalizing citizens who commit a crime after they became a U.S. citizen. So that's really serious. But I will tell you this, that denaturalization, the civil unit at the U.S. at the Justice Department, they've got to hire qualified attorneys who could do this type of complicated litigation, particularly on the civil side. And we had gotten some intel several weeks ago in the American Immigration Lawyers Association had a meeting about the topic related to denaturalization, and had some insiders there who used to be part of that unit. And the person, I remember him saying very vividly that, they don't have the bodies there yet to do the type of denaturalization campaign that they want to do. Okay, so I want you to calm down a little bit and not be too overly concerned about denaturalization, as you're going to be hearing a lot more of it in the news. Watch the videos that I've shared so that, again, you could get that grounding, that understanding, so that you will not be afraid of being denaturalized. And guys, there's a way to fight back, of course. Denaturalization is very complex. It's very hard. The government has a very high burden that they need to meet. There are some challenges with successfully denaturalizing some individuals. So watch my videos to learn how denaturalization really works. The next issue is this, friends. And it has to do with, let's see if I could get the title up here. This is a little bit out of order. Okay, so asylum applications, as you guys know, all asylum applications pending at USCIS has been paused. I've reported out about the fact that USCIS issued a memo last week saying that all I-589 applications, asylum applications, are going to be paused. And one of the questions that folks have been asking certainly has to do with, well, when are they going to lift this pause? How long is this going to be in effect? Because I'm very concerned about it, right? I'm among the 1.4 or 1.5 million people with a pending asylum application at USCIS. How long is this going to last? Well, friends, the president, speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One, has said that the pause on asylum claims it's indefinite. Okay, speaking to reporters recently, Trump also escalated the anti-immigrant rhetoric by criticizing Somali immigrants living in the U.S. and confirming that his administration plans to pause new asylum claims indefinitely, saying it could last a long time. Okay, a long time. Kristi Noem, the Secretary for Homeland Security, on NBC Meet the Press, said that asylum processing will begin again after everyone's file has been vetted. by this administration, and that the Afghan national who shot the National Guard members was vetted by the Biden administration. And so the Trump administration is pausing everyone's asylum application so that they could do the vetting that they'd like to do. Although vetting is already, it's already built into the system here. So this could potentially be a very long pause. A long pause, but litigation could change that. Certainly, litigation could change that. So be on the lookout for any updates on the litigation side of things with regard to the pause on all asylum applications. Now, the next big issue or news has to do with upcoming travel bans. Okay, it is being reported that the Trump administration is considering expanding travel ban to around 30 countries. Okay, 30 countries. Currently, there are 19 countries that are on the travel ban list, and now they're looking to expand it to around 30 nations. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem recommended a full ban on countries she described as flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies. That's what she has said. Okay. As part of the broader immigration crackdown, the administration has halted all visa and immigration processing for Afghan nationals, which we've discussed. They've also paused the asylum decisions for everyone and ordered everyone at USCIS and ordered a review of green card cases from the 19 countries affected under the current travel ban. So the Department of Homeland Security stated it would announce the new countries affected by the travel ban soon. So what are they going to do? Who are they going to add? We could all speculate based on how this administration is. We're expecting more African countries. That's a no-brainer, I think, here. Maybe some Caribbean countries would be added to this list as well. So maybe some more Middle Eastern countries will be part of this list. But once I get more information, I will certainly share the news with you. Okay, now, next, friends, USCIS announced a couple of days ago that they've created a new vetting center in Atlanta, Georgia, to strengthen national security by screening terrorists, criminal aliens, and other foreign nationals who pose public safety risk or commit immigration fraud. And this center will centralize enhanced vetting, using both classified and non-classified tools like AI. They're going to use AI to review pending and already approved applications with priority given to individuals from countries of concern. Watch my video from a couple of days, which really broke down the process that they're going to start with this re-review, going back to approved cases and call some people in for an interview, re-interview some people, interview people who were not interviewed in the beginning before they got their approval. It's going to be a mess, but they are focusing their resources right now on this whole re-review process and pausing and vetting these asylum applications, which means that everyone else's applications will be slowed down, and USCIS has already put us on alert that they are expecting case processing times for like regular cases, so to speak, to be slowed down, which is very frustrating. But again, a lot of litigation will be happening to really go after these drastic policy changes. So this new vetting center in Atlanta, that's where it's going to be like the hub for vetting. They're going to focus in on vetting applicants in Atlanta, Georgia. And then lastly, friends, the last update that I'd like to share with you has to do with another USCIS news. They announced that they're going to stop collecting biometrics from detained individuals unless they are in removal proceedings. Okay, let me just read it this way because I might not have said that correctly. USCIS has updated its policy manual to clarify that the Department of Homeland Security generally will not collect biometrics from detained individuals unless they are in removal proceedings and have a pending application or petition with the Executive Office for Immigration Review, EOIR. Okay, and they're making it clear that they will not approve biometrics collection for aliens, for individuals in jails, prisons, or similar detention facilities. What they're going to do is they're just going to deny these cases based on abandonment if you fail to show up to your biometrics appointment. And this policy is effective immediately. So they're not going to do any more interdepartmental, collaborations or agreements with ICE to, they're not going to spend their resources and time trying to collect data from detained individuals who have a pending application at USCIS. They're just saying you're out of luck if you're arrested by us and you happen to have a biometrics appointment coming up. It's too bad. If you miss your appointment, your case is gonna be denied for abandonment. That's what they're saying now. And also, lastly, guys, if you had not yet seen my live session about the leaked USCIS memo about how they've changed things up to have these various group chats going while you're there at their office for an interview, and they've already flagged you for this process because they are intending to arrest you at your interview there. Watch that video to learn a little bit about how they're doing this now. The leaked memo is out there on the internet. You may or may not be able to find it, but it's really informative and eye-opening. All right, so with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go right into some of your immigration questions now. So let's get going with your questions. If you're now joining, thank you for being here. Double tap the screen and give me some hearts. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. All right, Tennessee is also in the house. Hyattsville, Maryland is here too. Brooklyn, New York. Let's go down a little bit here. All right, so the first question says, does the December 2nd memo from USCIS stop the processing of I-130 petitions by spouses of U.S. citizens? No, it does not stop for most people, it won't stop the processing of the I-130. It will stop the processing of I-130 for those who are from one of those 19 travel ban countries. Okay, so if you have an I-130 pending and you're from one of these countries, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Haiti, Somalia, Yemen, Sudan, Iran, Togo, Libya, then yes, they're going to stop the processing of those cases. Let's go. Thank you for that question. Freedom now. How long after filing the N-400? How long after N-400 with no decision made can I file a writ of mandamus, and how much does it cost? You've interviewed with respect to your naturalization application, they haven't made any decisions. I would say every lawyer is different. You'll hear some on any forum that you watch lawyers. Some will say, just do it after 4 months, 6 months, a year. I'm somewhere between 6 months and a year. It just really all depends on the case, and it depends on your facts. Because quite frankly, if based on our experience, it looks like USCIS is gearing up to maybe issue you a notice of intent to deny your case, and I really want you to pay attention to this point because this is not something that you often hear from those who answer questions online in forums like this one. I would want to know, are you going to likely be denied before we file this? So that you could be informed that because it's an expensive process to do the mandamus, and so you should really know what your chances are of even succeeding with your naturalization case before you undertake such a process. So we will tell you that firstly, and also it's this administration is so aggressive right now. Is it a great idea for you to even do that? We're being aggressive as well, just so you know, we're being very aggressive as well, but you've got to be strategic about things. And so if yours is a case where you should hold on to your green card maybe another 3 years, right? Just hold on to your green card for the next 3 years. Well, hold on to it. I would want to tell you that. Hold on to your green card, okay? Versus trying to play the tough guy and sue the administration. And your cases, you don't even really have a good case to do that. So you don't want to ruffle too many feathers if you have a bad case. Let's see. Will the T visa pending T visa cases be affected under the new guidelines for EAD 18 months? You know, we have a carousel on Instagram and Facebook with the information about those that fall under the 18 months versus those that fall under the 1 year, the 12-month. Go look at that, because I don't recall whether the T is under 18. It could be, I don't know, but just go look at our carousel from, I think we shared that information on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And my colleague who's moderating, he could also place that information in the chat here on YouTube for you. Okay, the information from our carousel on EAD. Thank you. What is the best way to get a green card from an H-1B visa? It would be great if your employer decided to keep you and file for you. So an employment-based process is a good way to go. Also, if you become eligible through marriage, that's also a great way. VAWA cases will inevitably be slowed down based on USCIS's new focus on re-interviewing individuals, reviewing, I should say, approved cases from those 19 travel ban countries. Let's see, thank you. Someone says, I have all notifications turned off, but I don't receive any alerts unless I set them to individual upcoming lives. Okay, you've got to, maybe turn on your notifications there so that, the person says, I have my notifications turned on, but I'm not receiving updates. I don't know what's going on. Even on TikTok, you guys haven't been seeing my content the way that you used to, and some people are complaining. You guys are complaining. You want to follow us certainly on Instagram. It's very faithful. Instagram and Facebook. We share so much information on Instagram and Facebook each day. Those are our go-to platforms to share breaking news, urgent updates, all of that. Follow us on social media, guys. TikTok, it's in a different. TikTok isn't working right now. I just say that. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Read our success stories as well on McBeanlaw.com/success. If my case is at the BIA, what will happen? I'm not from one of those banned countries. Well, the BIA will take up your case and issue you a decision. Okay. Freedom Now, thank you. Thank you. For those of you, Carl says, I'm joining late. Welcome, Carl. Thank you for being here. Can I file the I-485 adjustment of status application 6 months after filing the I-130, and I'm still waiting on the I-130 approval? You can, if you're eligible, Sydney, for the 485 process. I make the argument that you should have done both of them at the same time. Your case might move a little slower as a result of breaking it up like this, but if you're eligible to adjust your status, you should definitely get it in there. And be sure to include the receipt notice of your I-130 that's still pending. And that's very important to include in that with your case. I don't have any updates on VAWA combo card. Sorry about that. You might be able to get that type of update from another lawyer online who has live sessions, who focuses up more on VAWA cases. Um, other than, here's what I know about this, the VAWA work permit. Things are taking longer than before. Okay, this administration has not been prioritizing humanitarian cases, and so receipt notices have been slower to be issued. Work permits have been slower to be issued. All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Would it be advisable or not to travel domestically as a green card holder with one thing expunged 10 years ago? This criminal record is just, this is just one thing, and it was expunged 10 years ago. I think you should be fine. This is domestic travel. You're a green card holder. You don't even need to show a green card to travel around the United States. I issued a travel warning, so to speak, a few days ago involving domestic travel. If you have a removal order, you should not be traveling domestically, meaning you should not be flying from New York to Florida or to California or to Connecticut or Boston. You should not be flying around if you have a removal order. Facial recognition at these airports, in addition to sophisticated technology that they have, that they're utilizing now to connect the dots through AI and all these other things that I don't fully understand on the technology side. All of that is happening now. We saw that devastating story of that college student who was detained on her way home for Thanksgiving to Texas, and she was deported 2 days later to Honduras. Okay, she had a removal order and didn't even know it. Be careful with your domestic travels, particularly if you have a removal order. Double tap the screen, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. All of those who are newly joining, hello, hello, hello. Double tap. And if you have not started following me yet on, you know, you know where you're at, on TikTok. I'm looking directly at you. If you have not yet started following on TikTok, go ahead and follow, okay? And also follow on Instagram, where you will get a lot of information from us each day. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go down. Do I think Vietnam could be on the list of banned countries? I don't know. It's hard to say which Southern Asian country, whether any, well, I think Laos is on the list, right? Let's see. Let me just pull that up here. Yeah, Laos is on the list. That's the only one that I see on the list from that region so far. I don't know what's going on in Vietnam. I don't know if we like Vietnam right now or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when they come out with this information very soon. And most importantly, we'll see how they justify it, because, you know, the justification is really important to these travel bans being able to stick. Okay, let's go down a little bit. The I-360, if it's a VAWA case, that's a 3-year timeline. Will be a little longer now in light of the refocus of USCIS resources. Okay, let's go down. I have a question. I entered in September 2020. Can I have my citizenship interview? But they are canceled. This was okay, I'm not so you know, the English there is not very strong. Okay, I'm gonna just try my best to decipher what you're saying here. You said that you had a citizenship interview coming up, but they've canceled it. My understanding is that they have canceled naturalization interviews for individuals who are from one of those 19 countries. What do I recommend for someone with expired DACA? Well, you should reapply. You should reapply. Now, I don't know if you're going to be considered an initial application because you've been out of your status has expired for a good certain amount of time. But DACA, I don't I don't have any break-in updates regarding DACA and the litigation in Texas at this time. We're still waiting on some final procedural things to happen in that case before USCIS announces again that they have resumed processing initial applications and then sending out information about updating the fact that you'll need to update your address with them, because if you live in a state like Texas, and if you live in Texas, you will not be able to get a work permit under DACA. Okay, thank you. I have a B1, B2 visa. Is it possible to apply for citizenship? No, it is not. You can't go from just a visa to citizenship. You have a few other steps to go through before you can get to that point. Let's see. Do I need to apply for citizenship now after 20 years as a green card holder? Well, my question to you is, why did you hold on to your green card for 20 years? Is there something that stood in your way of seeking naturalization? If you're eligible for naturalization, you should absolutely become a U.S. citizen and free yourself from all of this craziness that we're seeing today with immigration. But if something has been holding you back over these 20 years of being a resident, well, okay, speak with a lawyer about it, and the lawyer will tell you that you have maybe you have nothing to worry about, or the lawyer will say just continue to hold on to your green card for maybe another 3 years. Okay. Let's see. Freedom now, guys. Type in freedom now. And let me know where you're joining from today. Can USCIS approve marriage-based green card if someone crossed the border, has an I-94, while her asylum case is still pending with EOIR? So we would take a look at your entry carefully, okay, to see really what was issued, what type of entry you were given. If you were paroled into the United States the right way, then you would be eligible to seek adjustment of status. But you also, you can, if you're an arriving alien, it could work out very well for you. But if you're not, meaning that you're in removal, you could still get a green card through USCIS. But if you're not an arriving alien, then your removal case will need to be reopened. Okay, if your case is still active, then that will need to be litigated or all the way to the end, or terminated, dismissed. Then you could seek adjustment with USCIS. So I would want to know more specifically what your entry really looked like before telling you whether or not it could be successful for you. People who enter the United States illegally through the border cannot adjust their status through a spouse. Okay, they cannot adjust the status through the spouse. And then certainly those who entered without inspection, same thing, can't adjust status through a spouse. But if it's a proper admission or parole into the United States, then yes, adjustment is possible. Okay. Should I be worried about my I-751 if my country is part of that ban? If your country is one part of that 19 countries, they are not moving forward yet. They're not moving forward with your I-751 removal of conditions application. Okay. I'm just waiting for my appointment, my interview abroad. Citizen spouse, the new public charge, can it apply to me? Probably in February. Maria is asking, Maria, the public charge, the new proposed rule, so to speak, it's not in effect yet. Just hold on that. You don't have your interview yet overseas. We'll see what the conditions are like, or what the rule is, what the rules are when you have that interview scheduled. Can a J1 visa holder apply for a green card? She's married to a U.S. citizen. Yes, that person can apply for adjustment of status if they are not subject to the 2-year residency rule, which means that they would have to go back to their country for 2 years before being able to get a green card. If they are subject to that 2-year residency rule, they could certainly get a letter of no objection from their country's U.S. embassy. But here's what the U.S. State Department has been doing, though, as of late. I don't know how widespread this is, but this, I know that it continues to come up. This problem continues to come up, guys, that the State Department, even after you've gotten that letter of no objection, the State Department is saying, they're not going to approve your waiver because you still have to go through another step with them. And they're saying, no, we're not agreeing to this. And if they don't agree to it, then you can't adjust your status. Someone says that her VAWA case has been pending since 2023. Okay. 4, 5, 6. So you're good to go. You're fine. You're fine still, right? It's a 3-year process and timeline for VAWA. At least that's how it used to be. Okay. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see what else you have for me over here. Let's see what you guys are saying here. On Instagram, can an LPR petition an unmarried adult son living in the U.S. with no legal status? So here you have a green card holder, parent, petitioner who wants to file for an adult unmarried son living here in the United States. Yes, the I-130 can be filed for that adult son. He will fall into the F2B category. But he won't be able to adjust his status. He will need a waiver after the I-130 has been approved and his priority date is current. He will need a waiver, and he'll need to wait here in the United States until that waiver is approved and then travel abroad to finish the process. But it's a good process. It still works. It's still in place. Josh says, thank you for your continuous help with information. I really appreciate your videos each time I watch them. Thank you so much for being here. If you're now joining, earlier I covered several updates, very important news. Watch the replay on McBean Immigration TV on YouTube in order to see the earlier news that I shared. Let's go down a little bit here. Should asylum seekers be scared to travel domestically? I don't think you should be afraid to travel domestically. All it takes really is one case, one example for me to change my mind about something like this. Because with that one case or one example, it tells me that, the government has done something differently recently and more people need to be alert about this. And so I would issue a new travel warning. I don't think so right now, but if I'm starting to really not think it's a great idea for you to go get your face blown up or showing up on some biometric facial recognition system at the airports at this time. Yeah, I really am starting to think that that's not a great idea. But to be afraid, no, don't be afraid. But I think something's going on there on the technology side. Okay, let's go down here a little bit. I'm a green card holder and I'm not from one of the banned countries. I'm planning to travel internationally with my travel document in January. Is that a problem? It might not be a problem for you. You could travel on your advanced parole. I don't know where you're going. Although it doesn't even matter really, and you're a green card holder, I think that you'll be fine with your travels. What about Nigeria? I have not heard any news regarding Nigeria. They were on the radar recently by the Trump administration with regard to the churches, the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. It's really, really, really bad. And that got their attention, and they don't like that. So I don't know what they're going to do with Nigeria and whether Nigeria will be on this upcoming list of about 30 countries. And the other thing that I really don't know is, and I'm piecing this together through the media as well. I don't really have any clearer insight, more so than you. No, what I don't know is if they're going to add on right to the 19 to make it 30 in total, or whether they're going to add 30 new ones. I think they're just going to add on, but we'll see how they do it. Okay. Let's see. What about Ethiopia with a green card? I didn't see Ethiopia is not on this list. I hear chatter on the internet about Ethiopia potentially being on the next list. So I think maybe that's where some of these questions are coming from about Ethiopia. We'll see if Ethiopia joins the list. What makes a person eligible to file the I-130 and I-485 together or not? Well, certainly the first thing is that requirement is that it's an immediate relative. If it's an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen filing, it could both I-130 and I-485 can be filed together. So long as the beneficiary is not in removal in immigration court. If that person is in immigration court, most individuals in immigration court will need to only go through an I-130 process first before they can move on to adjustment of status. The other way that people can do an I-130 and immediate relative. I was thinking about other petitions like VAWA and other things, but that's not what you've asked here. The second way, though, that it could happen is the visa has to be, let's say, for instance, if let's say the F2A category is current, which means that a visa is available, then if it's available, then an I-130 and an I-485 can be filed together, provided that that person had continuously maintained a lawful status and some other criteria are met. Someone says, what about my feelings about Black Americans? Do you ever care about what is happening to them, ma'am? I do. I look in the mirror every day and I see what I see, okay? So, of course, I'm concerned because I see where the rhetoric and the move is going. And even a couple of months ago in September, when the Supreme Court had that terrible ruling about racial profiling is permissible in California and nationwide by ICE, I said in that video while I was in Jamaica on my vacation, okay, I did that video because it was breaking news. I said that Black people are next, okay, with this. There's a, once the racial profiling has been okayed by the U.S. Supreme Court, well, that's going to trickle down. That's going to have a broader implication for people of color, not just Latinos. So I see that as being the next big push. I also think when you hear the president talk about deporting, sending out homegrown criminals, I think he's thinking about Black men primarily. That's how I see it. So of course I care about what's happening there too. And the immigration crackdown, I think, is going to become, it's just a racially it's racially motivated. So if it's racially motivated, in my opinion, it's not just Latinos. It's going to the next big group, the next big target that I'm very much concerned about are Black Americans. So when I say US citizens born here need to really pay attention and open up their eyes and see what's going on. These are the things that I'm thinking about, and that's what I mean by that. So I'm very concerned about it, and I would love the forum to really be able to talk more about this. So thank you. Now you got my mind thinking about other things. Let's get focused. I'm back to immigration. Okay, so my mom-in-law has a tourist visa and we have green cards. Is there a way to apply for sponsorship for a green card? So if your spouse, if your spouse only has a green card, then he can't yet file for his mother. So once he becomes a U.S. citizen, he'll be able to sponsor her, to file for her, okay? Thank you, guys. Has family-based green cards slowed down? They're about to slow down. We haven't seen any big change quite yet, but now everything is still fresh. And USCIS only last week announced that they will be slowing other cases down. Okay. Can this administration roll back the 1965 Immigration Act? Well, it's going to take an act of Congress, right? And so the midterm elections next year, we'll see how things shift. I'm not even going to say how things will go, how things will shift. Things will shift next November, and hopefully we could get back to a balanced approach to governance. Friends, we're reachable at 914-898-9488, or at you could email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com for a paid consultation with an attorney. Let's go down a little bit here. Seems like, okay. Okay, let's see. Someone says, I have someone in detention in Buffalo, New York. What should I do? I don't know if what your relationship is with that person who is in detention, but you need an appointment immediately, maybe with us. Okay, we would want to take that appointment and see how we could help to maybe get that person out. We have a success story from yesterday about on Sunday, and it's on our website now too at McBeanlaw.com, about how we were able to help a client. Actually, that's my summary right here, which I'll read for you guys towards the end. How we were able to help our client get out of detention in upstate New York. He became our client after he was detained, and his family member retained us, hired us to help him. So he's out right now on bond. So time is of the essence when someone who you know has been detained. Okay, let's see. Some people are subject to mandatory detention of 90 days, but even so, if things were not properly, protocols weren't properly followed by ICE during the detention, there's a way to get some of these individuals out of detention, including habeas. Any information on the USCIS leak in California? I only know about the leak that I shared a couple of days ago, the memo that I went into a lot of details a couple of days ago about. Let's see. Can a legal permanent resident file for a spouse who is on asylum? Yes, you could file an I-130 for that person. Okay, let's go down. Okay, we are a family from Equatorial Guinea, and we received our DV lottery visas in September 2020. We entered the United States in March 2021. Would the Trump-era travel ban affect our U.S. citizenship application? Yes. Yes. And the reason I say yes is because your country is on this list of 19 countries who the government has said they have stopped processing cases for anyone from one of those from these countries. So that's how it would impact your naturalization application. The people who are spamming, I think we're gonna have to we have to just get rid of the spammers, please, from YouTube, please. We've got to get rid of them. It's too much already. They're very distracting, and I don't want to have to ban, but you have to find a way to get them out. Let's see. Someone says, I came here in 2015, and I'm from one of the countries that's on the Trump ban. Will this affect my ceremony, my naturalization ceremony appointment? Yes, most likely it will be, because my understanding is that they've canceled appointments, oath appointments, naturalization ceremonies for individuals from those countries. Okay. Double tap the screen, guys. Thank you so much. How long does it take the I-130? How long does the I-130 take for an adult? Who filed for you? It depends on which category you're in. Is Ghana part of the 19 countries? No, Ghana is not part of the 19 countries. Can someone travel domestically with their passport? Yes, they can, or they could use a real ID, driver's license. Take a look at the list of from TSA on their website of travel documents that are permissible to get on an airplane. How does spouse sponsorship work? If a U.S. citizen or a green card holder spouse can file for their family member, their spouse, who does not yet have a green card. Do we charge a consultation fee in the case of those detained? Absolutely. We charge a consultation fee for our time to meet with anyone, whether they're detained or not. Detainee cases take up a lot of our time, by the way. So those cases move fast, and we definitely charge a consultation fee. Where is your office located? We're located in White Plains, New York, in Westchester County. The I-751, how long does it take now? The I-751 still, for some people, still can be processed in 6 months, 8 months. Some people are waiting 2 years. It just depends on the case. Thank you for being here today on TikTok. Double tap the screen and be sure to follow. Okay, TikTok, if you have not started following, thank you for the 159 new followers on TikTok. But if you're watching 160, let it go up, guys, because a lot of you are watching there. If you have not started following me on TikTok, follow there, but also follow on Instagram, because that's where you're going to see a lot more information each day from us. The TikTok algorithm will not give you everything. Trust me on that. Let's get it up to 200 new followers on TikTok. We're going to get there any second now. Thank you. Let it go up, guys. Let's go down here. I'm from Jamaica. H2B, is it involved? There's nothing is happening with regard to Jamaica is not connected to anything right now on the immigration side. Thank you for all of the new followers there on TikTok, but also follow on Instagram at McBean Immigration Law. Let's see. Okay, someone says here, a spammer. John, you're a spammer. Much love from Boston, he says. My family is hosting a Haitian immigrant with a pending asylum application in January. I'm looking for resources to guide my guests and myself as a sponsor with our hearing. Um, what? Okay, so you're saying that this person has a pending asylum case. They're Haitian. You'll be with them in January. The biggest push that I think you or talk that you need to have with them is how are they going to um, what type of asylum case do they really have? Okay, because the thing is that TPS, as you probably know, for Haitians, the government has announced that it will end on February 3rd, I think, of this year. So the question is, well, how are they going to transition? If they have a pending asylum application, okay, fine. But I think that this Trump administration is going to set their sights on Haitians next. Somalis are the focus now. Before it was Venezuelans, that now Somalis. Soon it's going to be Haitians, and I would question the strength of that asylum application because. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to quickly usher people, Haitians, into the removal system. I don't have any free resources that are directly on point with regard to Haitians transitioning, but there is someone who I know who does. Bianca, attorney Bianca. I did a podcast with her a few months ago, John. If my colleague can put in the chat for you, Bianca, I forgot her last name. She's terrific. She's American, born here, but from Haitian family, parents, and she has free resources for Haitians who are thinking about transitioning to permanent residency. So if we could just find Attorney Bianca's information, please, and place it in the chat for John. Okay, Bianca. And I think if you go to her website, you'll find the information there. She has free resources for Haitians who need to transition to permanent residency. She's the only resource that comes to mind right now. She's also a great attorney, okay, in the Massachusetts area. We're almost at 200 new followers on TikTok. If you have not yet started following on TikTok, follow us on TikTok. How long will it take to sponsor parents who have overstayed their visas? Normally, it takes a year or less for this immediate family type of filing. Thank you. Let's see something here. Thank you. All right. Thank you for all of the new followers on TikTok. Thank you, guys. I don't have any update currently on EB4. I don't have the visa bulletin in front of me. Thank you for the gifts as well. Thank you. Thank you. We're almost at 200. We just need 2 more followers on TikTok. Here we go. Thank you. We're at 200. Thank you for the 200 new followers on TikTok. You guys are the best. Thank you. Okay. My wife is here on the iVisa on foreign media representative. Thank you, Michael, for telling me what it is. Somehow Michael knew. Let me help her out today. So his wife is here lawfully on a visa. I'm a citizen. Can she adjust her status here in the United States? Okay, so she should be able to. Okay, she's here on her visa. She changed her mind. She wants to stay with her spouse. The government permits her to do that and can adjust her status. 215. Wow, thank you guys for following today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, someone is asking whether we have our moderator. We do. We have the trolls and the spammers need to be blocked in real time. I agree with you. We're trying our best. It's we're moderated on multiple platforms, but thank you for that. I know it's a little distracting. Bear with us, please. Bear with us. And we will be doing some additional banning after today's broadcast. Bear with us. Someone, Marjorie, is asking if I have overstayed my visa and I got an I-751 extension receipt. Do I have a risk to be deported if I will get a date for an interview? So the I-751 removal of conditions to get the 10-year green card, you should be fine. The people who they're really looking at arresting at USCIS field offices based on that leaked memo, these are individuals who have some sort of flag on their system already that the agency has said, okay, we're going to interview this person in a certain room by a certain officer, and we're going to keep this group chat going during the interview to see if we've learned more new information that would make us, we learn information that would make us not arrest that person during this interview. So there's something there that has caught their attention on the fraud side, okay? Typically it's on the fraud side. So if you don't have anything like that on your record, you're not on their radar to be arrested at their interview. You say here that you and your spouse are still in a bona fide marriage, which is so important. If they do call you in for an interview, that is really critical. So I think you'll be fine, okay? But certainly prepare for that interview. Prepare for that interview. Someone says that my work permit application was filed in July of 2025. Will I get a 5-year or an 18 months? Most likely 18 months because it's still pending. And the new rules from last week applies to both pending applications and those filed after December 5th, I believe is the date. So it's they're going to just give you the 18-month work permit. Okay, Maureen is asking a great question. Can a green card holder file for their child if the child is in the United States? And will they have to go back to their country for an interview? The child is underage. So Maureen, the answer is yes and yes. Yes and yes. Yes, a green card holder can file for their child who's here in the United States who overstayed a visa. Yes, the child will need to go back for the embassy process because that child did not continuously maintain a lawful status in the United States. But if you become a U.S. citizen and the child is under 21, you can just transition, certainly the case, and get the child a green card here in the United States. Children usually are fine at the U.S. Embassy process. So don't hesitate to get your child that green card, okay? Do not hesitate to get your child a green card. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Can I come back to the United States if I have a deportation? I'm married to a U.S. citizen. You might be able to ask for permission to come back to the United States early without having to stay outside during that entire 10-year period, but it just depends on the reason for your deportation. If you have an aggravated felony on your record, you won't be able to come back through your spouse. Thank you for all of the new followers there on TikTok. Follow me also on Instagram where you will get reliable daily updates. TikTok algorithm is really iffy right now. They're going through their transitions at TikTok. Let's see. I withdrew my asylum application since I already got my green card through marriage. Although the asylum application still says pending, should I be worried? No, you should not be worried. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. Let's see. Will I be able to reinstate my husband's visa that was canceled? now that Haiti is on the list. You might be able to get things moving. You might be able to, the reason I say it this way is because we're talking about a visa reinstatement process at the National Visa Center, but in terms of you getting a visa issued or him getting that visa issued to him, that's going to be a no until Haiti Haiti has been lifted. But actually, let me back this one up. Hold on a second, because with Haiti being on that travel ban list, yeah, they're stopping everything. But I would still want to see if the Visa Center will approve the reinstatement request at a minimum, even during a time like this. So that's something that we would look into and see if we can accomplish for you. I'm not sure it will work during this time, but we would want to take a look at that. Guys, if you have your success stories, share the success story below. Share the success story, okay, to encourage other people, because immigration still works, okay? We shared our story yesterday. We were contacted in October by the sister of a man who became our client. He's from Cameroon, a young man. He was suddenly detained by Border Patrol during a routine stop at a gas station upstate New York. He was traveling, he was actually on his way out of the United States. Okay, he was going to leave. He had a TPS status that expired, as you guys know, Cameroonians, and he had been living lawfully in the United States, studying and working as a nursing assistant. He originally entered the U.S. as an F1 student in 2022, so this is not someone who had been here for many years, and he had no criminal history and no prior arrests, yet Border Patrol decided to randomly target him, and they arrested him. After holding him for a couple of days, they then transferred him to a different county jail in upstate New York, leaving his family completely unaware of his whereabouts. It was a very scary time for his family. They contacted us. We stepped in immediately, took over communication with ICE, reviewed his immigration history and TPS status, and we prepared extensive evidence of his credible fear of returning to Cameroon due to the civil conflict there and the fact that they're still targeting Anglophones. We filed a motion for bond requesting pre-NTA bond and custody redetermination, and at his hearing in November, the immigration judge granted the bond. Shortly after, our client was released from detention and reunited with his family, and so he's able now to continue his asylum fight from a place of safety and stability. Guys, this work is hard, it's stressful, but it's so rewarding when we're able to help people to be free from detention and to get their lawful status fixed here, get a lawful status in the United States. So we're here for you. You may reach out to us at McBean Law at 914-898-9488 or email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com so that we could have an appointment with you. I might be able to do a live session tomorrow night on Tuesday night. I might. I'm just saying it this way this time because last week I couldn't do it. So just stay plugged in so that you can catch me as I'm able to come live and answer some of your questions and interact as a community. Follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. Guys, thanks so much for being with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.